Hello everybody, it's Maikito. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's had a good day so far. Had a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody had a great time, was safe, and in general just had a good time. But we're back with the video. I did mention I wasn't going to have a video yesterday just because it was Thanksgiving, and two, just because it was a small slate as well, so I wasn't going to post. But I have a big slate when it comes to Saturday. Although I didn't post a video, I did just do general chat and stuff like that. I posted my Flex Friday slip, as you can see on the screen. Almost hit, went 5 for 6. But that's just for my Discord, link in the description, which is completely free. It is not a premium. You're more than welcome to join. I'll let y'all know there when I don't post as well. When I do post, all of that, I'll get into that at the end. But we did good. We've been on a great player prop one. Did good on that Discord play as well. So hopefully we can do the same thing here. I have 2 player prop plays as of now. I have 1 money line play. I do have a money line play. Especially with this big slate, I felt like there was a lot more for me to work with, and I found a slip that I did like. And as always, if I do have any added plays, that will be in the pinned comment in this video, either later tonight, but more than likely tomorrow before a game starts. You can really check it out throughout the whole day. Just because I usually check, let's say some games start at like 10 a.m. your time. Around 9 a.m. an hour 4 is when lineups are confirmed, and that's when I look to see who's going to play. Sometimes someone might play that I didn't anticipate playing. More lines might have been added. Lines might have been bumped. So it's better and easier for me to add plays then. So if you do want more plays, kind of keep it now for those times, about an hour to 30 minutes before a certain game might start. I might add a play, or I'll let you know on my Discord as well. And then any picture you see on the screen is from the data app called Outlier. Link for that is in the description. You get a 7-day free trial linked as well. So there's no reason not to try. You get 7 days for free. And if you don't like it, you can always cancel it. But it's a great resource app. If you use my link, you get access to not just soccer, but all the sports, NBA, NFL, college, whatever it might be. It's a great resource app. You can find a lot of plays based on matchups, based on home and away, with or without certain teammates, how that might affect their minutes per game. Just all the resources that you can think of. It will be there. It will be there. So link for that is in the description. But other than that, I'll get straight into my plays. The first play that I found that I like is Marcus Tavernier to go higher than 1.5 shots away from home for Bournemouth, going up against Sunderland. He's gone over in 3 out of 5 games so far this season since returning from injury. He had picked up an injury, I believe, last season, and he's back now this season. He's played well. He's gone over in 3 of 5 games so far. The 2 games in which he went under were against Crystal Palace and Manchester City, who on average allowed the 5th least and a 2nd least shots to opponents respectively. Now it's the opposite. He has a good matchup against Sunderland, who on average have allowed the 3rd most shots to opponents at 14.2. One of their biggest weaknesses when it comes to Sunderland's defending is defending down the wings, which is where Tavernier plays. He plays down the wing, which is what I like. He's versatile. So far, he's taken 17 with his left and 4 with his right. He's much more left-footed, but if he can, he will shoot with his right as well. And he's a long shot taker. He's taken 13 from outside the box and 8 from inside the box. And Kluivert and Semenya will both be out very, very likely because of injuries. And with them out, that means he'll play more minutes and he gets more of an offensive load, more of a responsibility for him to take those shots. And Semenyo is a player that is usually pretty reliable when it comes to playing. So across the last 2 seasons, 1 game this season, 1 game last season, he's played without him. He went over in both games with 2 shots, going over in both games. And in those games, he played the full 90 in those games. So again, that just correlates to what I'm saying with them just being spread thin offensively. He should be able to pick up those minutes and play the full game, which is what I like. He has a good line, and with a good matchup, he averaged 2.65 shots per 90 just in general last season with the lineup, and just in general how his team is. I like to play Marcus Tavernier to go higher than 1.5 shots. And the second play that I found that I like is Nico Williams to go higher than 2 shots away from home for Athletic Bilbao, going up against Levante. He's gone over this mark in 3 of 6 starts so far this season, so a 50% hit rate. It might look scary on paper just because it's 50-50, but I really like the matchup here against Levante, who on average have allowed the most shots in the league per game at 17.6. 2 of the 3 games in which he missed so far in those 6 that you see on the screen were against top 10 defenses, and the 1 miss was against Oviedo, who was a good matchup. He took 1 shot, scored from it, and then the team as a whole took 21 shots. So I just think that was an outlier in general. He was unlucky to not shoot, but I don't think that happens again. Iñaki's out injured. His brother Sanadi, a striker, is out injured. Sunset, an attacking midfielder, is out suspended. So just like Tavernier, he's another player who playing with the team where their offense is spread thin. So more of an offensive load for him to carry. He averaged 2.43 shots per 90 last season. He's versatile this season. So far, he's taken 10 with his right and 5 with his left. He will take long shots mainly because he's a winger who plays on the left, mainly right-footed. He cuts in on his right and he shoots, and I like that because that's one of Levante's biggest weaknesses as well, is defending down the wings. Bilbao's not in good form, and honestly, I like that for us. And the reason why I say that is because Levante's a team that is newly promoted. They're gonna try to avoid relegation, and at home playing against a team that isn't in good form, they are very likely gonna feel confident trying to pick up some points, because I know they've lost like the last 3 or 4 games. So they're going to feel confident in this game to take advantage and score here. But if anything, they can get caught on the counter attack. They might make a little bit more defensive gaps than what they usually would. And even if they don't, I still like the line regardless. Besides, Levante is the team who has averaged the least possession in the league so far as well, at only 39% a game, which just means more chances for Bilbao to be able to get those shots. And last season, he had 2+ shots and 2+ shots and 71% of games last season, in which he played at least a half. He had 2+ shots in 15 out of 21 games. So he will shoot if he plays in the game. He very likely will start. So it's not a matter if it's just when he can get those shots. And with the line here, same thing, circumstance and the matchup. I like the line. Nico Williams to a higher than 2 shots. And as always, before I get into my money line play, I really appreciate it if everybody liked the video and commented as well. It's a great way to support the channel, whether it's just, again, showing support, typing something random, or asking questions. That all helps the video boost to the YouTube algorithm. And it's just a great way to support the channel as well. You can ask questions. I'm more than happy to answer. I know a lot of y'all that make these posts, make the comments and stuff and watch the videos don't actually watch soccer, so I'm more than happy to answer your questions. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, turn on notifications so you're notified when these videos do go out. And I mentioned earlier in the video, I also have my Discord, which is linked, which is completely free. I do not hide any picks. You get all my picks for free in this YouTube video. It's just for those that want to get notified when I post, notified when I don't post. I notify y'all about edit plays, and it's just a great community where people post their own plays. You can post your plays, and it's just a great place to get involved with the community as well. Completely free. Link for that in the description. The only form of premium, I guess you can say, that I have is my YouTube membership, which is linked as well. Or there's our join button next to the subscribe button. It's for those that want to support the channel a little more, and you also get the videos out earlier. So if you're not a member, those that are already got the video and all the pick for everybody else. And again, it's a great way to support the channel. It helps avoid potential bumps that might happen. These lines can be sharp sometimes, so link for that in the description. Same as Outlier that I mentioned in the beginning as well. So I really want to thank anybody and everybody who supports me in any way. Like I mentioned before, I have one slip when it comes to Moneyline that I found that I like. I got this slip from -135. The first play is in Spain La Liga, and it's Atletico to score 2 or more, going up against Real Oviedo, over 1.5 goals. They have a great matchup here against a bottom 5 defense, who they've allowed the 5th most goals overall to opponents. They've conceded 20 goals in 13 games, so they're averaging about 1.5, and they've also allowed on average the 3rd most shots to opponents at 16.6, and that's dangerous against Atletico Madrid side, who have averaged the 3rd most shots on target a game at 5.9. I know on average it goes up to 7 at home, so they get more chances when they play at home, which is what I like. They're in great form. They've won 6 straight games now, and they've scored 2+ goals in 5 of those 6 games. They've had 2+ goals and 5 out of 7 domestically overall in the league, and they've scored in all 7 games. So it's just whether they can get that 2nd goal. I'm very 99% confident they get at least 1 goal in this game. It's whether they get that 2nd goal. They're strong on set pieces, which is one of Elche's weaknesses. Atletico's a possession-based team, while Oviedo isn't. They average the 4th least possession so far in the league. That's just more chances for Atletico Madrid to get as well. Their offense is fully healthy, so they have plenty of players they can choose from, whether they start. Even the players that come off the bench can score, whether it's Julian Alvarez, whether it's Baena, whether it's Sorloth, whether it's Griezmann, whether it's Almada, whoever it might be, they have plenty of players that can score, and you get much better value taking them to score at least 2 than their money line. It's a home game for them, and I trust them here, so I like Atletico to score at least 2 at home against Real Oviedo. And then second play for the slip is in the Italian Serie A, and that's the Juventus 3 money line going up against Cagliari. I'm like really confident that they don't lose this game. It's just whether they can avoid a draw here. They're yet to lose at home across all competitions with 3 wins and 5 draws. So again, they've drawn a lot, which is what I'm trying to avoid here. But I like the matchup here, especially at home against Cagliari, who on average have allowed the 6th most shots a game to opponents at 13.2. Cagliari don't play possession. They've averaged the 6th least possession in the league so far at 44.4%. And while Juventus haven't been clinical so far this season, only converting on 24% of shots on target, they've averaged the most shots on target a game in the league at 5.5. And they go from shooting 4 shots on target away up to 7 at home. So that's a 3 shot on target difference, and they have a good matchup. So I really like their chances here. This play has hit in they played each other 3 times last season, and they won 2 of the 3 games. They kept a clean sheet in 2 of them, so they won like 1-0 and like I think 3-0 or something like that in the 2 games in which they won. And the 1 game in which they drew against them, they gave Cagliari like a last minute penalty in the 88th minute, and they were able to tie. But Juventus still dominated in that game. They had 73% of the ball, 21 shots on shots, 9 of them being on target, and Cagliari only had 1 shot on target besides that penalty, so they dominated. They were just unlucky to give up that penalty. And defensive-wise, squad-wise, Cagliari will be without Yerry Mina, who's a great center back for them. He's a key defender, and across the last 2 seasons, they've played 9 games without him. And they've conceded in 7 of those 9 games and conceded 2+ in 6 of those 9 games. So you could take Juventus to score 2, but I can see this being a 1-0 win. They can sometimes make it a big scrappy, but I trust the home team here. They've yet to lose at home. Can they get the win against Cagliari at home? They should. They did last season, and I trust them here. So like the Juventus 3 money line going up against Cagliari, pair with Atletico to score 2 for -135. Thank you everybody for watching. I will quickly go over last video's picks. I technically swept. I thought about wearing the robe, but I only had the 2 plays from the YouTube. I didn't have any added plays. One of them pushed, which was Nubel to get 2 saves. He pushed with 2, and then we did hit the safer play, which was Arnautovic to take at least 2. He had 4, so it's a pretty good day. I mean, the Nubel play was pretty sweaty. He didn't get that second save till like towards the end of the game, and he had 0 at halftime, but he still pushed. He came through. Overall, we're still on a great run player prop wise. When it comes to the record player prop wise, I don't count pushes, so as of now, I'm not mistaken, we're like on a 19-6 player prop run. So that's like a 75% hit rate so far over like the last couple videos. So hopefully we can keep that momentum going into this big Saturday slate. I have the money play that I found that I like, and like I mentioned before, if I have any added plays, they will be in the pinned comment or on the Discord, which is where I posted my Flex Friday play that I mentioned in the beginning as well. So link for that in the description. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.